Let's do this shit.
Second announcement. Uh, Kyle and I got engaged.
What?
Congratulations!
I don't even know where that squeaking is coming from.
Dustin.
Aggressive. That's
Dustin,
Dustin.
your tea is ready.
I thought it was Jolie, but then her
No.
mouth stopped moving, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's fucking Dustin."
So
I think you
yeah,
scalded the water there, Dustin.
Congratulations.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yes.
It goes without saying, you motherfuckers are invited.
Where and
We're gonna figure that out. But of course, we need our best dancing man and our best Viking.
Also, I already called being Snicket's bro of honor, so.
That's amazing.
God.
I love you guys.
So my traditional wedding gift is I tend to do the
Strippers.
makeup for the no.
Oh, okay.
I tend to do the makeup for the party. So
It's better than me doing it. Trust me.
So should I cut
I
that
still have
because
all
I
my
was
shit.
recording?
That's fine.
Okay.
so we will discuss later.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanted you guys to know before I made this more public. So
Excited.
Oh, is that why this is happening?
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations. Hello? Hello? Don't do
Hello?
this to me, Discord.
Hello?
Oh my god.
no.
Okay, hello?
Yes.
Okay, you
Hi.
all cut out for a second.
Oh shit.
That was fun.
We could hear you.
I know, but I couldn't hear any of you.
That's not nice.
Okay. Well, let's hope this doesn't happen all the rest of the night.
Fingers crossed.
I think there's something going on in my background.
Oh, look at that. Cool. That unsuspecting.
Nope. You stop that right now.
Stick
Don't
it.
you
Oh
dare.
God.
Snicket, you know how I feel about that pool.
Okay, well we'll just go back to this
I want to go in it so bad.
Oh boy.
guys.
with Giant Connor.
Oh my.
That's a big Connor.
So
All right.
should I throw myself on there somewhere?
Actually.
Oh God.
You're in the
I'll let
cage.
you- I will let you
Jesus, Charles.
take care of that. What the
Or Aaron, I mean.
Okay, there you
I don't know
go.
what you're talking about.
Sorry, Charles.
There you go, Chili.
It was centered around you until I saw which thing was moving.
So, quick recap, because it's been at least a week. So, last time on the Fallen Returns, you guys booked it from Queen's Cross all the way to Evansmire, chasing down Sorrel, with a little help from Belle, but a lot of help from Connor being able to catch a glimpse into where Sorrel was going. You managed to find his hideout, which tended to be a mausoleum in the middle of this ruined place. And I am trying not to be like a cat with a laser pointer.
What?
I'm just watching you two Keystone Cop your way around. It's hysterical.
After finding it, you guys started to trek in and slowly discovered that he had trapped this place to hell and back.
Dick.
Because he's totally not the Ward Master, and Wards is totally not his jam. Because your DM is totally not a dickhole. So, after some, oh god, here's the thing, oh god, here's the thing, oh, we tripped that, oh my god, and some horrible uses of the spell Magic Mouth just to, put something to the wound. Oh my god, like.
I just had to make a bad joke. Sorry.
So afterwards, you guys managed to get down here where you encountered Sorrel and a elvish blade singer who called herself She Who Walks Behind. A battle ensued in which you guys found out that, surprise, this was the hymn's lair. And after dispatching them and having a war of wizards, in which the professor was triumphant, turning Sorrel into a pile of ash, you guys found in the corner to be a large wrought iron cage where you saw what you think to be is the form of Aelin laying glass still on the floor. I swear to Christ, roll 20 if you don't stop your shit. So that's where we're picking up is you guys have defeated Sorrel. He is now a pile of half ash, half blackened bones with scraps of fabric and metal all in a nice, neat little pile. At least he died relatively, easy for you guys to go through.
I'm
Blades...
sifting through that shit.
The Blade Singer is... I don't quite recall how she died.
Golf swing from Connor.
Oh, that's right. So she ragdolled really hardcore, almost clipped through the ground. But she is in a heap. The hymn is completely gone. There is no trace of him whatsoever. So at this point, Alex is knelt. English is hard. Alex is next to the cage. Corin, you're approaching it. What would you guys like to do?
Well, here's the question. Do we want me to rip the bars off while I'm still big?
Well, I called out her name, right?
You did. You did not receive a response.
I cast Healing Word.
Okay.
Do you
So
want me to roll? Or does it not matter?
you can roll if you want.
Okay.
Did anybody else really not like that response, or was it just me?
Like 15.
Okay. You give forth a divine word, a whisper of Pelor's grace, and nothing happens.
Does it feel like my magic was accepted? Or it just nothing happened?
Did you? If you're asking if you got a signed receipt that the package was delivered,
No, what I'm saying is did the spell go off or did it just not happen?
Press 1 to collect... to accept this collect call from Pele.
she's reversing the charges. I'm sorry, Chris. You get the feeling that your spell went off.
Is the child okay?
Alright.
Come on.
Connor, can you...
Connor and me, can we just pull these bars apart together? Womp. Or something like that.
Mostly because this is amusing to me. Connor, roll strength, or athletics, because I want to see this, because this always makes me happy.
Since I'm assisting him, can he roll with advantage?
Huh?
Since I'm assisting him, can he roll with advantage?
Yeah, he can roll with advantage.
Yay.
Though, giant Connor really doesn't need too much of an advantage, to be honest.
Hey man, I'm really strong too.
So that's 28?
See, this is what I like. The hardest part is actually with your enlarged frame is trying to find a place where you can get a good handhold. Because it's this was not built for someone of your stature at the moment to put their fingers through the bars and pull. But you manage to start wrenching it, and you all hear this scream of iron protesting being bent and molded in such a way that it was not supposed to. And you managed to rip a nice, medium-sized humanoid hole in it. As you kind of flex your fingers afterwards. There's a little bit of a sting, but yeah, whatever.
Okay. I push against Connor to move him out of the way.
No, he would have moved out of the way.
and I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic on Awen.
What level?
Motherfucker. Let me see what I have left. I think I have a lot left, so.
Yeah, you guys stood surprisingly well in the last battle.
I'll do it 5th.
Roll, please.
Roll, what do I roll?
Wisdom plus it's wisdom plus a d20. No, Charles, if you have advice, I'm more than happy to hear it.
Well, the thing with it is, though, we keep running this back and forth. Do you add proficiency or not to this roll, or is it just a straight modifier roll, where it's like you're casting mod?
Well, what is it for counterspell? Is
I'm
it the same?
pretty sure that's all it is.
Yeah,
I'll look
It's
it
just your spellcasting modifier.
So that would just be your wisdom.
I mean, I have a
Because
plus
that was
6.
the
so.
issue. Because that was the issue we were running with like counterspell and stuff like that. For like, well, if it's your spellcasting mod, then it's like, it's like blah. It's like,
yeah, I'm totally cool with doing just the ability modifier plus the d20. It makes things a little bit more interesting.
That sounds good to me.
That's how I read it.
Yeah.
So let me know what you get.
My goddamn fucking computer keeps muting itself, or my microphone or whatever. 21.
Oh shit! All right. I forgot Corin is wise as fuck. Are you touching her to cast it, or are you just casting it?
I'm just casting it. Well, is it a touch spell or is it a range?
I believe it's ranged.
Then I do it from the mouth of the little hole that Connor made.
You have activated mic now. Let me see. Let me read Dispel Magic real quick. Man, I picked a hell of a day to be illiterate.
I picked the hell
Hold
of
on.
it. Stop.
Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any spell, 3rd or lower on the target ends.
Okay.
For each spell, 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your skill casting ability. DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
Okay, so, you cast it and nothing happens.
Okay. I go inside the cage and try to turn her towards me.
As you touch her, you are greeted with, you touch her and there's this sort of ice cold to the touch. It just sort of radiates up your finger, and as you roll her over, she looks like she's sleeping.
Can I do a
She
medicine
is-
check?
Yes, you can. She looks,
She's
almost-
cold, she in a bad way, in a way that
yeah,
she should.
she's freezing, like you just touched a hunk of ice, and she is her skin is sort of white, like the first winter's snow.
Well, here goes this plus 11 to medicine that I never use. 25.
As you go and you check her, you realize that no one should be this cold. This is getting towards you should be dead to be this cold.
Do I learn anything else? Is she alive?
You go check her vitals and you get absolutely nothing.
She's not breathing or anything?
Nope. Make an insight check.
Insight? I have a pretty high insight too. Hold on. Yeah, I have 11 into insight too. 17.
Feeling how cold she is, even if she was dead, this feels off. And the color of her skin doesn't match what a corpse should look like.
Professor!
Yes. Is she alright?
I don't know. Something's wrong here. I move out of the way so that you can look at her.
Okay.
I come investigate.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a look as well.
Yeah, if you want. What you see is Aelin completely glass still, white in the face, looking like she is sleeping.
Can I do an Arcana check?
Yeah, if you want.
Did we already do that? I wasn't paying attention.
No.
Nope. Hell yeah, Professor. You look
Plus
her
15.
over, and you're trying to figure out what spell would do this to her. And you're coming up with blanks. Anything that this should be, that this could be, it's not presenting in the way that it would normally.
This is nothing I've ever seen. Can I inspect, inspect her for any sort of, thing on her person or marks on her body?
Roll investigation, and I'll add that to your Arcana roll. Yeah.
So
Does he-
46.
Ian comes down and goes, "Damn!" As you touch her, she is freezing cold to the touch, like you have just touched a hunk of ice. There doesn't seem to be any markings. She is, sort of exactly how you last saw her. Just her skin tone, instead of that, sort of, brown as a berry from running around in the sun all the time. It's completely almost Snow White.
What do I have spell slot left for this? Oh god,
Are we sure it's her?
I don't think you have any spell slots left.
Well, I might have one for... What spell level is that? Second level? Oh, I didn't use any second level spells. I cast Detect Thoughts to see if I can... If her brain is, thinking. I don't know if you have to be conscious for that.
You cast Detect Thoughts, and for the half a second as it comes up, you get the sort of drone of everybody else's thoughts in the room, but you focus on Aelin, and there is resounding silence. Absolutely nothing.
I don't know what's wrong. I've never seen anything like this. It defies magic.
Does this sound like anything I've maybe read of before or heard of in story?
Yeah, maybe like a body double that can be made.
I mean, I cast a really high level Dispel Magic. I don't know if...
Those who are trained in Arcana can roll Arcana.
Well, I've already rolled, so that would be kind of double dipping.
Yeah,
10.
double dip.
I'm gonna go ahead and...
I rolled a 4,
26.
by the way, on that Arcana.
Oh my god. Ariel and Professor, as you're sitting there going, what could this be? Alex says body double. And for a minute, your mind wanders to an extremely powerful spell that you wouldn't have thought. Because as you're looking down at Aelin, you realize, possibly because the spell wasn't finished in time, that it was either interrupted or left undone. And that's why it's not popping up under your radar. And it hits you. Snow White, ice cold. The components needed for the spell include lots and lots of snow. you both start to surmise that maybe this isn't Aelin at all. This is a simulacrum.
Simulacrum. Rael.
That
Maybe.
The cold. I mean, it takes a large amount of snow. This was actually a spell that I was going to learn. I've been studying. I don't know why it didn't hit me now.
Professor, I don't know what that means. What is that?
This
It's
is,
like a living snowman.
well, it's like a double. It appears and acts exactly like the creature that you make. But if they hadn't finished the spell, I don't think this is. I don't think
Okay.
this is Eowyn.
I turn away from everybody and I sit down and I pull out my crystal ball. Because the Wardmaster's dead now, and he was the one who was blocking the. He was the one blocking the calls, right? I can't think of the spell right now.
yes, he was preventing the scrying from
Scrying.
happening.
Scrying.
That's
Crying, yeah.
Yes, as far as you all know, he was the reason why the scries were going wrong.
Yeah, I scry on anyone.
You immediately scry on Aelin, and you are hit with a wall. This is something you've never happened before. But as you watch as the spell goes over hill and dale, you notice the southern half of Toknel come into view, and you can sort of see Shalloon in the distance as your spell hones and hones and hones and slams to a halt right
I
at
knew
these giant megaliths that seal in Vianor.
Yup.
That's where she is.
We can't see in there.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
Oh, that's
As far as we know, there's only one person.
one person.
Corin.
What?
I said Lady Valentine, but apparently my freaking mic is.
It did. Yeah, cut out.
All right, well,
not
I
happy
don't
with
know how
it,
to not
man.
make it echo then.
Oh.
That's alright.
The echo's not usually that bad, though.
But yeah, I was saying Valentine.
Well, she
I'm
called
gonna-
for us anyways.
Corin, can you find her? Can you see her?
No.
Do they have her?
She's in Vienna.
The Blade Woman. Can you talk to her?
I need a
I
day.
can. I can.
Dead lady over there who Connor split in half?
What's his skull look like? That's all I need.
It's on the ground over there. I don't have Speak with Dead prepared, but if we
I do.
wait a day, I could. Oh, you do?
Uh-huh.
Holy shit.
It's-
I think
comes
all
in
you need
handy.
is a corpse, right?
Yeah, basically.
Well, you got two.
There is one
We have a
small problem. with
smoldering
Speak
ash
With
pile and Blade. I don't
Oh.
think we can talk to.
His skull is still intact.
Oh well.
Yes,
well,
it is.
he will.
There's one small problem with Speak with Dead.
Mhm.
If whomever I'm speaking to perceives me as an enemy, they don't have to answer at all.
Well, they have to answer, just they don't have to be. They can lie. But depending on what they choose to lie about,
Does the corpse have to be fresh?
no.
Mm-mm.
The corpse only has to have a working mouth.
Like, can a skull still be a working mouth?
Yep.
Yes.
Right. Let's save his skull for later, and I just pick it up and I put it in my bags.
Are you going to investigate the rest of the ash pile?
Yes, I was doing that before I went to. Sorry,
Okay.
I said that I was
Oh.
gonna sift through that.
I was, yeah.
You did. I'm a flute brain.
No, no,
Roll
I just got caught up in what was happening with Eowyn.
roll investigation for me as you tuck the
Boom.
Oh shit!
the blackened skull of Saral away as Rael prepares to cast Speak with Dead, or figure out what you guys are going to do. You start to go through. It's mostly ash, but you get bits and pieces. And at the very bottom of it, you see, untouched by fire, what looks to be a platinum amulet
Mhm.
with gems and various intricate marks of magic, both on the front and on the back.
Interesting.
Oh,
I used the monocle to cast Identify.
Nice.
The magic on this amulet is unlike anything you've seen before. It is complex, it is swirling,
What
it is
is this?
delicate and fine down to almost spider silk. And it is ancient.
Can I tell what?
That's what I was gonna. That's
its
exactly what I was
purpose is?
thinking. Julie.
how else does he get back and forth?
As you're looking at this, roll Arcana for me, Professor.
Rolling Arcana. 32.
This is ward magic. This is ancient ward magic. This is the way it looks and feels. This is more ancient than the Arcana. This is more ancient than the Glorious Empire. This is 2,000 years ancient. And as it hits you, this is when the wards of Vianoth first went up ancient.
Ladies and gentlemen, I believe I found the key to Vianoth.
So does that mean we're going to Vianoth?
We have to go to Ballantine first.
Yes.
She has something for us. But this will get us there, I think. This is older than the Glorious Empire. It's definitely warded. It definitely deals with wards. I think this is our way through. But we must keep it
Might
safe.
get us through the gate, so to speak.
Now here's what I was thinking. We need information. And as Rael has informed me, as I am not that clear on speaking with dead things, to have them perceive us as an enemy would be detriment to our cause. However, I don't think any of us has anything that could give us the illusion of being someone else. Do we?
I only have an extremely strange and probably something that won't work idea.
Please, we're all. This is this is the world.
I do have that wand of polymorph.
But it could turn you not into polymorph is mostly.
Beast, yeah,
Yes.
I know. But I don't have any disguise magic otherwise. It's not really my
Where's
thing.
that dwarf I met that one time? Damn it.
I don't really do the whole hiding in the shadows or changing what I look like thing.
I met a rather drunk dwarf once in the woods.
I have another maybe not good idea.
Corin?
Maybe. Okay, we all know Ballantine's like a lich.
Yes.
Like
Right.
probably the
It's not a
most
secret.
powerful creature besides maybe Demorio.
Oh.
So what if, I don't know, she can bind Soral's skull or something into servitude and ask him questions.
The servo skull. I'm
Are
sorry.
we really making a Bob? Really?
Glory to the
I was making
Empire.
a Warhammer joke, but
Kill all the heretics.
Corin, would you be willing to do that to his soul?
I don't know if she
already
would.
cursed his soul enough. I don't care what happens to him. I need to know where my daughter is. What's going to happen to her?
Well,
I mean, I don't know if Belle will even agree. If she
Yeah.
doesn't, I don't want to do it.
Well,
Obvious.
perhaps at least we could see through her mirror. Maybe she could penetrate. what we
maybe.
can.
She might be powerful enough. If anyone is powerful enough to see through the wards.
Well, we've come. We didn't get what we came for, but
I mean, at the very least, maybe she can turn me into looking like, I don't know, Demuriel, and I can talk to
my
one of them
point
then.
is- Yes.
I don't know if that will work. Demorio sounds.
Something we would have to go with.
Wait, you've
something.
heard Demoriel's voice before, right?
Yeah, of course.
She's like mocked us and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
Bring the heads. We could do something with
Um,
Yeah.
as you guys are discussing, Arendir, you're going through the sort of crunched up body of the Blade Singer.
Yes.
You find a wizard spellbook. That's sort of completely intact, and you start looking through it, and it's written in some weird ass notation with tiny, tiny little like handwriting for ants. And you find almost everything else on her is almost mundane except for the rapier she wielded, which just has as you pick it up, it just sort of vibrates in your hand. There's this
Like-
thrum of power.
Like a good or bad kind of vibrate.
Well, if you want to attend to it and find out.
No, thank you. Last time someone did that,
Oi,
a
Paladin.
dwarf almost died.
Come over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Last time one of those tried to kill me.
I mean, why am I the one who picks it up?
No, do your thing where you detect evil.
Is this alive?
I don't know, but it might be evil.
I like wiggle the rapier at.
I mean, I could
Oh,
do
look
divine
out.
sense, but I don't know that it will work on objects.
I could tell you if it's cursed, if that's what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
Listen, ever since you guys told me that you tried to kill Rael, or somebody tried to kill Rael, I'm
Connor.
a little worried about. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the worst
I think I was
person.
scared
I'm pretty
for that.
sure
Don't
it can only
Forget these
detect.
things. Somebody tries to
evil-
kill you, you don't forget about it.
I
Especially
will
if it's
cast
one of your
identify on the whatchamacallit.
I think it can only detect evil beings. I don't believe it actually can detect evil objects.
Read the bottom
Oh,
of the spell. It says it can detect a radius of place or object.
Oh, well, never mind. Then yeah,
Cool.
cool.
So
So yeah, I'll use divine sense then. Sure.
you use divine sense, and there is this horrible, disgusting, almost slimy feeling that just sort of coats, and it's just this thing is evil. And if it's a magic item, it shouldn't be radiating evil quite that way.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna start yelling evil. Evil.
See, I fucking knew it.
Just points and starts going.
Well, I'm gonna put the rapier back down then, and I hold up the spellbook towards the professor. So I don't know. Maybe you could make something of this, but I guess be careful. You would know better than I. And I hand you the spellbook that she had. It's just a wizard spellbook. I don't know. And then I say that. So another level of weirdness. I've seen her before. I point to the headless corpse. Remember the visions I had all that time ago when I was having visions of a fire in the forest? And
Oh, yeah.
she was there. Well, I heard her voice. I had never heard it before until I walked in this room. And I don't know who she is. So I guess I've never seen her, but I've heard her. She was
Oh,
in my
that's weird.
visions singing.
Note to self,
All
ask her
right.
who the hell she is.
Okay, wait. The general, the one who trapped me and Talmar in the room her tomb, the second one that we didn't
Yes.
get to.
Yes.
Dremelech?
Right, yeah.
Did we ever see her? Wasn't she shrouded in a hood or something? Am I thinking about something else?
I don't remember, but
Oh god.
You did see
this
her.
was a
She was shrouded in a hood, right?
She looked like that.
Fuck. That is awful. Okay, but you couldn't see her face. So, like, here's what I'm thinking. Rael, if you could... I don't know how good you are imitating voices. But if your clothes can make you look like anything, right? You can make your clothes look like whatever you want.
No, I don't have those anymore. I just thumb over to Arendir. He's got
never
those.
mind.
I make my clothes look like what she's wearing. The corpse.
I mean,
That's
technically,
me.
we could switch, take some time, and I could do that, but...
I'm just trying to think of a way that we can fool the corpse or her spirit or what the fuck ever into thinking that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not us.
But we have some time to think about it.
Not that much time.
Well, let's not stay here.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's get somewhere better.
Take
I think if
everything
we're gonna
of-
question, I don't think we can take the Blade Singer's body.
I
Considering
don't need it.
Connor's. You know, I'm pretty sure you do. For that
Just the
spell.
head.
Oh,
Which we have right
all
here.
right. No, we have Saral's head. We need the other person's head too.
Oh, yeah, we,
Yeah, I
gonna
need
do
hers
that.
as well. I'll
alright,
take it.
We're taking it. I thought we'd already chopped it off. My mistake.
It's hard to keep track of who killed
I
who.
did ask for a lot of, I did ask for a lot of heads a few minutes ago. I understand the
Yeah.
confusion.
I'm sorry. Who
I
killed
think
who?
I think there are people you can pay for that.
Jesus. Fun fact, yes, there are.
I know a red
Um,
fire genasi who used to do that.
Alright, can somebody remove the damn head for me, please? Because I'm not quite strong enough, I don't think. It would take me a while. I know a couple of you guys can do that in about 2 seconds.
Is there anything else of interest in this room, Snicket?
There is the bookcase that has a bunch of books on it.
I'm just gonna wander over there really quick.
Books.
Alright, roll investigation to go through the library. Oh,
Why
yeah,
do you even ask him to roll?
Jesus.
Because there are the
These
chances
roll like
that I can
ones
roll
before.
a 1 and get an 11.
Fair, which has
True.
happened.
Don't.
Hey man,
Jinx.
I may have upped the DC on stuff because I know you guys. You start going through, and a lot of these books are books about wards and whatnot, written by Sorrel himself.
What a fucking
Oh.
bitch.
He has almost all of his works.
Books? He takes his work with him.
I do a jerking off motion.
I'm glad that I melted his face.
There doesn't seem to be too much of anything else. There's a lot of other books. There's books on abjuration. There's books on evocation. You see a couple books written about the automatons of the Glorious Empire.
So I'm taking that one.
As you
Oh, wait,
pick it up, you
Shit. Knowing that this is Sorrel, can I investigate the bookshelf first before I touch anything?
yes, that's what I assume the investigation.
Oh,
for.
yes. Okay.
No, nothing's trapped, nothing mundane or magical, and you
Okay.
pick it up, and it is the automatons of the Glorious Empire and all the differences thereof, written by Lyrie Eldoon.
Hey.
Interesting.
But there doesn't seem to be anything too much of interest. They do have a book written about evocation by a wizard you know for a fact does not know nearly as much as you do and constantly gets things wrong.
Why did he even write a book? He knows nothing.
But there doesn't seem to be anything out of the norm there. So who is taken off She Who Walks Behind's head?
Yeah, I'll do it. Why not? I'll do it.
You sure?
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay. I'm not even gonna make you roll for it because this is.
If I miss, it's because I wasn't paying attention and won, and then I'll just do it again after I miss.
That
Yeah,
was
you-
M's character, right? That wrote this book.
Yes.
Just gonna take a 10.
You managed. It's not an executioner's work. It's not pretty, but it works. And you angle the body so that the blood doesn't sort of like go everywhere. But as you decapitate the body, there is this thick black ichor that just seeps from the neck.
Can I look at it?
Okay,
Huh?
that's
Can I
not
look at it?
normal, right?
I want to look at it.
It's like
like
thick
touch it with my
black
fingers.
jelly.
But I don't want to touch it with my fingers. And...
You're gonna touch it with your fingers?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
It's disgusting.
Meh.
Tama, what? Oh God.
And I wipe it on my pants or armor, I guess.
Your beautiful adamantine armor now has this like splotch of black ichor just kind of like on it.
And it'll wash off.
Okay, so that's not normal, right?
I generally don't see that, no, when I chop things off.
Ugh, that's just really, really gross.
I present you your head.
Thank you, dear.
You have gained a head.
Yeah.
Hello, Alex Darcy. Have you seen my skull?
Right, I think we should head out of here.
That's no way to get ahead in life.
I did not mean to actually make a pun. I didn't realize I was making a pun.
As the famous wizard once said, we don't have any time.
We don't
Professor.
have-
Damn.
I just scowl at Aaron there.
Just wait. Once we actually get all this finished and I get my book published, you will all be famous.
I'm already semi-famous in certain circles, thank you.
Of course you are, darling.
Okay. So you guys are starting to head out now?
See.
I think so.
Okay.
Right, everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to get out of here.
Can you get us to Bell, Professor? Or I guess Queen's Cross is the
I can
closest,
get
right?
Queen's Cross as close as I can get us.
And then we have to go
We
to,
have to get to whatchamacallit. And
the other
City
place.
and- Nope.
Well, there's a
Auckland.
city, yeah, Auckland.
in Age.
But then that guy who took us there the first time said that he wouldn't ever do it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe she has a way to get us there.
Right.
We had to
If
punch
we-
you all punched each other.
Oh, we could do that again.
Wait.
No.
We
what?
can totally
You
do
guys all
that
punched
again.
each other?
Yeah.
It's
That's
a
pretty
thing, Alex.
It
It's
was
a
it was a
thing.
thin plan.
You know, I really shouldn't ask about
I
anything with
remember
everybody were.
that.
I honestly don't remember why we punched each other.
because
I
no,
don't
know.
one
Make
came
us-
back. No one came back from that place.
So we had to make ourselves look roughed up.
Oh,
Exactly.
right, because
Like
we
we
didn't
had
want
this
to
We
venture.
didn't want to
that.
tell anybody that Bella was not evil. Right. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
It was a good plan.
I punched
that.
myself with mage hand. I remember.
Yes, you did.
You nerd.
Kel punched Connor and Connor punched Kel. It was
Yeah.
I say to everyone that I have an idea. Hold on. And I touch the pin on my lapel that's over my chest, and I say 7 to the bridge. And nothing happens. I try.
Ah.
Yeah, Jacob.
I just
He's
scowl
the
at
one
you
with the
further.
boat.
I'm like, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh no, I crossed the genre stream.
Oh, that makes me Worf.
Does that make me Troy? Oh god.
Good one.
Oh wait, it's like,
I think it does. Oh, Jesus.
You beautiful, beautiful nerds. So what are you guys doing? Are you heading out? Are you using any magic items?
We have to, I mean, I don't think you don't have enough high spell slots, right, to be able to cast us to transport us to.
Oh no,
Queen's-
no! I definitely need a rest. Rest.
Oh, shit.
As do I. My head still feels awful.
I do believe I cast a 7th level spell. Yeah. Oh no, I've got. Yeah. No. We're tapped out.
Okay, let's get the fuck out of here and then try to sleep.
Yeah.
As we're leaving, and I feel like both Connor and Alex are looking at the fucking pool, like, we don't have fucking time. Let's just fucking go,
Okay.
please.
Yes, yeah, I'm coming.
Now I'm fucking saying it.
What?
No, we don't have time.
Oh god.
We don't.
As we leave
It's
a
okay.
magical artifact behind that could have saved the world, we can jump in the pool.
We'll never know, Connor. We'll never know.
As we're like at the top of the stairs, he just turns around, starts.
Okay, so what was so creepy about the pool?
No.
Nothing was
normal
I
creepy
just
about it.
really want to go down it.
He really just wanted to jump in that pool.
It's probably traps.
I've got a necklace of adaption. I
There
can
were
breathe
traps
underwater.
everywhere. Stay away
I
from me.
have water breathing potions.
It's a normal pool.
I mean, I could polymorph somebody into a fish.
We don't have time. Come on. All right, we're going. Come on, out. We'll come back and get it.
Yeah, stop.
I'm adding
so
this to my mental list, though. As soon as we save the world, I'm coming back for this damn pool.
coming back from understood.
That.
So you guys head out, and I'm assuming you guys are just going to rest and make your way towards Auckland.
Si, senor.
Hold on. Let me roll for nightmares with disadvantage. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry?
No, it's not.
Do I have to roll to see if I get sick?
Nobody laughed, so it didn't seem like it was a joke.
Are you going to rest that night, and then in the morning the professor can vamp you to Queen's Cross?
That one.
Well, is it going to be faster to like skip moving to Queen's Cross and just cut cross country real quick just to go to Auckland?
That's a good question.
You
Because we have to walk to Auckland regardless.
do have to walk to Auckland regardless. The vamping will probably be almost the same as walking across country, to be honest.
But we would be a day behind because we have to rest.
Yes.
So why not just start pushing towards Auckland
I think we
immediately?
I'm okay.
That's what I was going to
agree.
suggest. That is
I
what the
forgot that we
professor-
were outside of Queen's Cross.
Oh, is that where they are? Yeah, if we're outside of Queen's Cross, we're not that far then, I don't think.
Is it nighttime at this point, Snicket?
Oh god, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get an earful for this. I think it's about midday, so you guys can get about a good half day start towards that area. You want to leave now?
I think it's the best course of action.
Yeah. No reason to stop now, I guess. I mean, unless we want to go over to the Shepherd's Respite and hang out with Dinah for the night.
Are you still there? Sorry. Morgan said everyone sounds like Gladys to her right now.
Yeah, I
Oh, I
can't
don't-
understand anything.
Oh,
That's being said.
I'm making a note here. Great success.
I am having a hard time hearing the Charles.
Hello, testing.
better.
Yes. Oh man, this fucking
Whoa.
image like brings back so many fucking memories of murder.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of too.
So, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to hand wave the traveling.
Oh, that's fine.
Please do.
Can we assume that we've had a full day's rest at some point?
Yes, you've had a full day. No.
Can we assume that we killed some like minor little things along the way?
Does my wisdom
Like
go
really
back?
easily. Like we look like the Avengers.
Yes, your wisdom comes back. Yes, you guys do wanton destruction of small furry animals if you so desire.
A wyvern
That's more of a
comes out of the
thing.
sky and we just fucking own the shit out of it.
A mob roll pops up, but this time you guys completely shit on it, and it's not even funny.
I'm just like I'm looking at Connor and I'm like, don't actually shit on it. What are you doing?
Do it! Do it!
It's the weirdest thing to only hear.
Nothing
I
but
really wish I could
horrifying.
record what I was hearing right now. 'cause
Oh, it's like
fucking
Charles
bizarre.
is like Mankirk at the in After Cataclysm. He's just standing there at the edge of the Quillbore with like just Quillbore all around him.
Oh yeah, there's nothing but bodies. Like you guys have enough bacon to keep you guys in stock forever. Which, as a reminder,
Which makes the professor sad.
you all never saw Mirai once down there.
No, we didn't.
Oh shit!
And the professor sent Mirai with.
Anyone?
Which should have been our hint that wasn't her.
I should have. Oh, can I? Oh fuck!
Yeah, I thought of that too.
I didn't think to check for Mirai. Fuck.
It's hard when things happen. Do you want to do something really quick that we can like say that you did?
Can I
More than happy
like
to do
called
that.
out? Can I have like called out for her like when we were in that room?
Yeah, while you're in the room, you start calling for Mirai both vocally and through your telepathic bond with her, and you get nothing.
Okay. I'll assume
Which-
that she's doing her
I mean,
job.
yeah, if I had scryed on Aeon and it didn't work, or maybe I could have tried to scry on Mirai. Did I get the same thing? Like just the wall of Viana?
Yep.
She's doing her job.
So
Okay.
she is
Right
doing
back.
her job. So you guys make it to Queen's Cross and then head out towards Auckland, which apparently I do not have in my archive anymore, so we're just gonna pretend. Pretend in my D&D game? It's more likely than you think.
I broke my immersion.
You guys hit Auckland and there is the smell of the sea. You can even hear the call of the gulls. It has been a very long time since you were last here. Seeing poor Gil, and run this letter for me.
I'm still
And-
sad that we just sent it back instead of bringing it back and seeing his face for
Man, when's the last time we were by the sea though?
a very long time.
Well, I mean,
Um,
it was the other side of the continent, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was whatchamacallit. It
Ducatus.
was the Gladiators. I don't remember its name all of a sudden.
It was Ducatus, damn it!
Ducasus, yes.
It was.
It was technically Geist.
Oh yeah, we sailed to Geist too.
Moving.
Scott Coast, you guys went. Never mind, you're right. It is DeCastis. My bad. I will acknowledge I was wrong. So are you guys heading directly toward the docks? What are you all doing as you guys come back into Auckland?
Yes.
Yes. We need to find a
Docks.
Just heading right to the docks.
Looking for
Okay.
Jacob.
Oh god. You
Um,
can't hide from us.
As you guys get to the docks, everybody make perception rolls for me as you all start to look for Jacob. Going, where is that man?
$26.
19.
20 more than Charles got.
Oh.
Yay, I'm blind.
Also
Charles, can you
26.
text me? Because I don't have your phone number in my phone anymore.
That is the same number you have normally.
Huh?
Is your old
Are we
number?
rolling?
Yeah, it's the same number.
I can't hear.
I meant to ask you that earlier this week, but it just came to my head right now. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, see, that's not the one I had in my phone.
Perception. Can you hear me, Morgan?
No, not really. I
Yeah.
can hear that, but it's honestly, I can't hear most anything. I mean, that works, Mike.
She rolled a 16.
Okay. Rael and Professor with Corin, you guys actually see Jacob by his ship, sort of just looking like he's loading some supplies on there. Connor, you are you're currently taking stock of all the boar that you killed and all the lovely boar meat and hide that you got, and you're like, this is gonna be fucking great.
I just start storming up to Jacob.
Oh god.
Alright,
Follow behind Corin.
I'll follow.
you guys watch as Corin storms off. The rest of you are following? Question mark?
I'm
Yes.
following.
Yes.
I'm not storming, I'm just following.
So you guys kind of follow him. Corin, you're the first one up as Jacob sort of straightens his back with a groan. His hand just like, oh my lumbago. And he turns and he looks at you and he's startled for a second. And then immediately relaxes. Oh, it's been a while.
I
Corin,
don't
was it?
need the pleasantries. You're taking all of us to where you dropped us off before. And you're not going to ask me any questions, and you're not going to say no.
Sounds an awful lot like a threat.
And I'll drop 250 gold pieces at his feet.
That sounds an awful lot like a bribe. He picks up the
Consider it a threatening bribe.
I need to go there, Jacob.
Alright. He sort of just pockets the gold and goes, well, I was about ready to go off on a fishing trip, but if you all want to go to that insane island, I'm not gonna say no, obviously. So, whenever you're ready to go, we can shove off.
Now.
Yes, please.
Alright then, welcome aboard, hands and feet inside the boat at all times. Hey, where's that little dragon that used to fly around? Right, I'm going to shut my mouth now and drive the ship. And it kind of shuffles off, and you all board as he gets the ship ready to sail. And, soon enough, you guys. That's the Talranian hello.
Connor says while we're on it.
Well, no, because this is the same city I made that same exact threat to the magic shop.
Oh, yeah.
Aww.
Prices.
Yep.
Fucking full circle. What was that? Fucking 2 years ago?
That was, you had a different, a
Almost.
little bit of a different backstory too, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, we revamped it a little bit, like the idea of like you still like. I
Yeah, 'cause
still
you
have
had
tags.
dog, you like did something with dog tags when you were in Auckland.
Yeah, because I had a solder background and
That's
we
right.
reworked it entirely into like criminal background, run from Talren before I knew what Talren was.
I love it. Oh man, we're hitting all the oldies but goldies.
So you guys
It's amazing.
start to sail, and for the first time in a very long time, you see this shard of glistening obsidian jut out from an island, as if trying to pierce the sky. And as you guys sail on, it gets larger and larger in view. The last time you hear there was a sense of foreboding as not knowing what you were going to find, what you were going to see on this island. Now things are a little bit different. This is familiar, almost welcoming to you. As you pull up to where you were let off last time, Jacob's like, I will maybe be back in a couple days. Well, I'll be
don't
back.
think you'll have to. We can find transportation off of the island.
Yes,
Oh.
and if anyone saw us, we never came back.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I've never met in my life and could not pick out of a lineup.
I mage hand him 100 gold.
I am going to go retire now.
I'm just gonna make a waving motion. We will never hear.
You are never here. These are not the automatons I am looking for. And
Enjoy.
he,
Never mind.
I was just going to tell him to enjoy fishing for the rest of your days, and I step off the boat.
he kind of waves to you guys and then pulls away and starts to head back to Auckland as you guys stand before what seems to be the very start of the labyrinth in front of the Obsidian Edge.
This
Do we shit on a bunch of crypt horrors as we're going through? Almost killed us last time.
Are you walking through the opening?
Is there? Oh, there's an
I
opening.
mean, I have kind of a crazy idea. Again,
We do have flying carpet.
we do. And I can also, again, turn some of us into flying things. Because I keep forgetting that I have that damn wand.
Why don't you just walk forward first and see what happens? She's
Can I
expecting
just
us anyway.
be sort of like up to the sky, like, Valentine, my darling, we're here. Is there a way to make this easier?
As you say that, Connor, are you walking forward?
Yeah, like they're expecting us.
Expecting us. As you walk forward, the second you pass the threshold into the labyrinth, you find yourself at the front doors of the Obsidian Edge.
Oh, that's convenient.
Connor's like walk towards like what looks like a giant empty corridor, and then as he steps through the entryway, he just disappears, and there's just an empty corridor.
Yep, as you guys watch him walk through the threshold, and he's gone.
That's so cool. That's such a
I'm gonna
cool-
kind of start forward, like, what the hell was that? And just
Connor?
kind of go after him.
Mom.
Hand
You
it
watch
out.
as Talmar is boop gone.
Connor, Telma, you two safe?
That makes complete sense. Of course.
I would
I'll just
imagine
keep
we're
walking.
probably out of range with the earrings.
Okay. You watch as the professor boop disappears.
Okay.
Well,
I'll look at the others. Shall we then?
I walk in.
Can I just sort of poke my head out through the thing and go like, is there
Yep.
a wall? We don't have time. What?
Just a floating professor head.
God damn it.
Okay,
walk
that's
through.
that's really creepy, Professor. That's really creepy. Coming. I walk.
As you guys now all stand in front of the front door to the Obsidian Edge, as you draw closer, you watch as the front doors flicker and fade as they sort of drop the illusion, and there's this as they start to grind and open up before you. And you all see this vast foyer, and you see something familiar that you have not seen in a very long time. What looks to be a humanoid-shaped being made out of the papers of a spell book.
Yes, yes, yes. I've got his name here
Do
somewhere.
I remember his name? I just say his name. Pleasure to see you again.
Kylan.
Nice. Kylan.
And it is good to see you all as well. The mistress waits within.
Thank you.
As you guys get led through these halls, Alex, you have never been here before. Everything, the walls, the floor, the ceiling, are made out of polished obsidian. It is beautiful, if not hauntingly so. And as you're led through, you see corridors and corridors, and everything in here is empty. It seems that there is not another soul other than this really strange creature who looks like to be made of nothing more than spellbook pages. You guys are led into what you all remember as the scrying room, where there is a giant mirror fixed to a wall. And you see a very slender figure draped in thick midnight blue velvet, hood up, as they are gazing into the mirror.
Oh, Valentine, you are a sight for sore eyes.
And it is good to see you all as well.
I brought you some tea.
At this point, she turns to face you. Her hood is completely up. and you cannot see her face through the shadows of the hood.
Oh, Corin, Chris, that's good. I like that. Are you all right?
The question is, are you all right?
No. I'm afraid we're not.
Can that thing see through the wards? Can you see into fire now?
I have never tried before. I have never had a need to.
If it's too trying, and wanes your power too much, I understand. But they have my daughter and they have Mirai.
They
I
have
need to know.
my daughter is there as well.
We
and they
need to
might
know
have my
what.
brother.
We all need to know what they've done with our family.
Then I will do whatever I can to help.
I don't know if this will help. But we do need it. I think it'll get us through, but perhaps if you look at it, you can understand the wards of Vinyl. I just kind of showed her.
She looks at it and she goes, that.
It's actually pretty smart.
I've never seen such marking. But it is ingenious. Yes, if that is what I think it is, then I can use it to pierce the wards. I don't know how long I will be able to do so, but I will be able to keep it open enough to see.
Will they know that you've pierced the wards?
Me? Perhaps. But Demoriel is more than welcome to come to my seat of power and try to stop me.
Yeah, I definitely bet on you on this.
Well,
I
you
fear
know,
no evil.
you know where my money lies.
Yeah. Not to mention us, we would assist you.
You watch as she sort of holds out a gloved hand, and her hand is so almost skeletal thin.
If the professor reaches out, I'm gonna grab your arm if I'm next to you. And say that you've never been so hidden to us before. Your hand is gloved, your hood is up. Forgive me for being paranoid, Valentine, but our enemies are everywhere lately.
And they have worn the mask of those friendly to you. I understand. And she pulls her hood back, and there is this moment of shock and of horror as you see pieces of Belle, of the woman you met, but there are pieces of skull that are now visible through decaying flesh. Her eyes, once this almost lightning cotton ice blue, are now nothing more than motes of light in empty sockets. Bits of white hair still cling to the top of her skull, but this is not the beautiful woman masquerading as fully human. Now before you, you see the Lich, the Arch-Lich, Valentine Novalis. You see the abomination. All glamour gone. And she talks, and there's almost this clacking of bone. She's like, you must forgive me. I am a very vain creature. I expend quite a bit of magic to keep myself looking as I did. I did not want to look the monster I know I am.
You are not a monster, Bella. Never were.
You are very kind. I know what I am. But gone is the time where such frivolous uses of magic can be done. I need all of my power to achieve what is going to come ahead. But I had hoped to spare you from this. So I am sorry if I seemed dubious to you, Arandir. She inclines her head. I just wish to spare you this.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. We've seen a lot fucking worse.
You don't need to hide from us. Monstrousness and evil is in the intent, what it looks like.
Your heart is lighter than you give yourself credit for.
At your kind words, you see the half a lip that's still attached to her face sort of pull in a smile. And she goes, well, we better get to the scrying. However, there is other things that I've called you here for. But that can wait until we figure out the state of your loved ones. Professor, if you don't mind.
Yes.
She takes the amulet in her hand and she turns it over. It's so delicate. It's so powerful. And you watch as she sort of runs her other fingers over it, and the gems embedded in the platinum start to light up. Each one lighting up with a musical note until they are all harmonizing. And she stands before the mirror, and she looks to you, Corin, and holds out her free hand. I will need you in order to make sure I can hone in on her proper.
I'd pull out my crystal ball too, because I've used it to scry on anyone countless times. And I'll take her hand and I'll focus on it.
Her hand is not cold, which you had been expecting. But you feel there is almost nothing left to her hand but bone. And as you hold onto her hand, she sort of turns the amulet to face the giant mirror, and you watch as the lights from the crystals shine brighter and shoot out, forming a single beam of light that hits the mirror and spreads over its surface. And you watch as you see Talknell just rush by you. And for a moment, it's almost dizzying. You're used to the crystal ball, just tiny sort of images, but this, it's astounding. And you guys, you see the megaliths, the wards of Vianos, standing 20 stories tall, engraved with ancient runes and sigils. And for a moment, it sits there, wavers, and you punch through to the other side. And there's flashes of landscape beneath you, cracked, barren, gray, and you see what seems to be a river, sort of dark, until it starts to turn blood red. And what you see is the mountain range sort of rear up, and you see this giant black mountain just sort of dominate the landscape. And all of a sudden, you hit another barrier, almost, sitting there wavering, and you see this large, ornate, mix between a castle and a cathedral, spires piercing the sky, and you can see movement below. And there's almost this constant groan, constant wailing of pain, of misery. And you feel her fingers tighten around yours. And there's this sort of, you all feel this sort of welling of magic coalescing around, and you pierce through one more time. And what you all see standing in front of them is a dark hallway, and you see this twisted, bent creature, the likes of which you've seen once before in the heart of Geist. Sort of having this iron grasp on Eowyn's arm as you watch as she's kicking and screaming with all of her might. And you watch as the crone waves her hand, and all of a sudden this tiny, dark room opens up, and she just tosses Eowyn in there. And you hear thud, and there's this exchange of words of, "We'll stay in there until you learn your place, little girl." And she slams the door shut and leaves. And so Eowyn is in this tiny, dark room, and she starts to whisper to herself hands outstretched trying to cast Produce Flame as you watch this little flame flicker up as tears are just streaking down her face. And she starts telling herself the hymn of Palor. At this point, you watch as from underneath her clothes, a little blue dragon head pops up and sort of nestles against her chin and goes, "It's okay, Aelin. They're gonna come. They'll come for us. We just gotta hold out hope, okay? I'm here with you. It'll be okay." And they kind of curl up as Mirai joins Aelin in singing. And you hear Aelin's voice. "Dad's gonna come for us. I know he will. They're all gonna come for us. And they're gonna regret this."
Can I reach out with telepathy like I used to do? I tried to say, keep fighting. We're coming. And we're bringing all of our allies every ounce of power that we've gained over these years. We're going to rip apart the people who've done this to us.
Oh my god. High or low?
I mean, like, do you
Yeah.
want that?
It's a formality. You whisper, you watch as the crystal ball starts to shine the same color as the crystals in the amulet. And you watch as Aelin's face turns up and looks as if she's looking at you. There's this mix of fear, of terror, of pain, and you watch as she just sort of closes her eyes and the flame grows brighter until the whole room is illuminated and it's a steady burning flame.
Don't stop fighting. Never stop fighting. Always. Remember the light.
And she starts singing the hymn to Palor that you taught her, her voice now unwavering, as Mirai sort of curls around her, keeping vigil. And it flickers and fades and snaps instantly back here, and you watch as Belle's hand sort of uncurls from yours. I was not expecting that. They will know, but it does not matter. The fact that you know matters.
But they know that it was you.
Yes, I made sure that if they figured out whose magical presence was there, that it would be mine.
I'm just
Mine
worried
alone.
that they'll know that Serral is... They probably already know Serral is dead.
When he doesn't report, I imagine they'll assume what they always assume.
But then they'll know we have
Stop
the
her.
key. They'll be coming
know-
for us to stop us.
Yeah.
They've been coming for us for 2 years.
Well, the game has escalated.
I don't think we should let them. I think we should go find them.
That means we're going to Vinyl.
Yes. I'm tired of playing We're at bad. I want to violent.
Is Kyle cutting out
I
really
didn't
bad
catch
for
it.
you?
Yeah.
Wow. Worse.
You went
I
in and
hate.
out
What is
badly
my
there, man.
microphone doing today?
Is the auto detect down really low or whatever?
I guess I just turned it on like completely like high, so now you're gonna hear every single thing that happens in my house.
That's okay.
I guess. So. What did you last hear? I'm sorry.
Do the whole thing. I didn't hear any of it.
All right.
Yeah, we heard like every third word.
Nice. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of batting at their plans. I'm tired of always being one step behind her. I want to go to Vyanoth, and I want to wipe that scourge from the face of Kaskana.
Then we march our allies and we start moving. Talren's already marching to war. We call the
The
dwarves.
Empire marches, Talren marches, our allies march. We will go and we will destroy this and end this for all eternity.
As you guys talk about this, Valentine turns to you, Professor, hand outstretched.
They'll know that you'll. They already know that you'll.
As I said, they can come and fight me. I have 750.
1v1 me, noobs.
I have 750 years of being a lich under my belt. They can try.
You're probably the longest unliving lich.
Possibly, only because I've been here. If you wish to see her, I can show you her.
I do.
As she offers up her hand to you, Professor.
I take her hand.
And
Sorry,
she,
I have my arm outstretched, and I'm like, oh wait, you can't see.
I did too, Dustin. It's okay.
She wraps her fingers around yours, and she points the amulet at the mirror, and you watch as it once again zooms over Toknell, hits the wards. This time it pierces through instantly. And once more you see the broken, battered, almost lifeless plains of Vyanoth stretch out before you, before heading up into the mountainous regions where you see small villages dot the landscape until you hit this giant cathedral-like city. And there's a moment of hesitation, this time longer than before she pierces through. And you see a room. There's a bed, there's a vanity, there's a wardrobe, there are bookshelves on the wall full of books and scrolls. And you see Tyrelin as she is sat at the vanity staring at herself. Her hood is pulled back, and you see her long hair just sort of cascading over her shoulders, and these eyes that are so intensely familiar to you, and yet so strange, all the same, just staring into a mirror. And there's a sort of blank look on her face before a hand comes up and cups her mouth. And you watch as her eyes grow unfocused, and you hear her start whispering to herself. She called for her father. She called for her father. She begged for her father. Daddy, Daddy, save me. And you watch as a tear just falls down her cheek as she sort of starts to crumple in on herself. And there is none of the harshness of the voice you heard in Geist. There is none of the commanding tone. There is none of, and it catches you and your breath stalls in your chest. There is none of the hag in her face or in her voice as she goes, Father, Father, please. And almost instantly, her eyes harden again, her face, a stony mask, her hand drops as she wipes away a tear.
How close am I to the mirror?
You are almost within fingertip range.
My hands are just like right there, like reaching out for her. Just like, I will find you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. She will pay. She will burn. They all will burn.
High or low, Professor?
Low.
Because it's the Professor. As you say, you are coming for her. They will burn. You watch as her back straightens a bit, and she looks over her shoulder to where you are currently standing, as almost as if she can see you. And once again, her harshness of her gaze softens. And for a moment you can see the woman she could have been if not for the hag, as she whispers once more, Father. And the connection snaps back, and what you see is your own reflection in the mirror.
I just sort of, like, the age of me gets to me. I just sort of fall down onto my knees. My head in my hands. And I'm just quiet. I kind of mumble, "Thank you, Valentine."
I wish I could offer more,
That is
but
enough.
I do have one. I have more that I can do for you all. But I also have a feeling there's things that you can ask of me as well. No offense, but you all smell like you have dead things on you.
Oh, that.
Yeah, we do.
I also smell lots of war.
Spells that need questioning.
Would you like me to question them?
That might work, actually.
By all means.
They might be
please.
more frightened of you than of me.
Yeah, an archlich of legend interrogating them definitely sounds like something they'd be afraid of.
This is Master Sirol, as I take out the sooty skull. He was the owner of that.
Ah, the one who gave me so much trouble.
Yes.
I will enjoy.
And we don't know this one's name.
I can make short order of that. Do you want to have this information now?
Is it too much for you, all at once, with the scrying and this?
Oh, of course not. It's been a while since I last stretched myself properly. There's no smile on her face due to the fact that it is mostly skull, and she's always grinning, but there is a smile to her voice as she goes, let me know which one you want to do first. After this, though, there is one thing I must do.
Sirol or the unknown person first?
Let's do the unknown person first.
Yeah, because
Throw
if
off
she
the
gives
last.
us anything interesting, we can use it against her roll.
Makes sense.
So she puts the skull down on what seems to be a sort of obsidian altar by the mirror, and she puts it down. And you watch as she casts Speak with Dead. And there's this horrible sort of as the skull starts to move.
Could I ask for just like a really quick bio break? I don't want to miss this part.
Do we want to bio break, everybody?
Yes, I could use a bio break.
Alright, 5-minute bio break and we'll come back.
Yeah, okay. Pause
Sure.
it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
2 games in a
we're
row.
good.
Okay, so you guys start to, she starts to cast Speak with Dead on the unknown elvish woman's skull. I fear this is a little too happy.
It's a little too victorious. We need something spoopy.
I see the spooping, and I know what it is. I start to play it, and I'm like, no.
God.
This battle music. I'm just gonna put Edmund Meyer back on. As this is horrible sucking noise as the skull starts to move.
Hot pocket!
I hate you so much, Kyle.
Valentine, your food's ready.
No, that's Bahamut's food. I'm offering this up.
You
Somebody
take
has
third.
somebody has bewitched a teapot to make that noise instead of whistling.
My mic wasn't this sensitive before. I don't know why it's picking up.
I don't know
everything
what
now.
you did to fuck it up because it was just fine from yesterday.
Ooh.
Oh, shots fired. Pow, 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 pow.
I don't know. Is this better? Can you actually hear me, or is it like
Yeah,
am
you're
I?
good.
We will let you know if it starts to go
Why
wibbly
are
wobbly again.
Why are you turning that down?
Because when it's on auto, it hears everything.
That's
Lord.
okay. We don't. The echo's not honestly that bad.
Okay, I think
I'd
it's
rather
okay now.
hear you.
True.
Wow, somebody
I'm
does
gonna
at
get a
least.
hot pocket on my end too. In a second.
It's a hot pocket Saturday night. Anyway,
Yeah.
Happening.
as the skull sort of comes to life, Valentine looks at you all for the questions you want answered. You guys got, I believe,
5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we get
5
like
questions.
5 questions or so.
Ask her what her name is.
What her true name is.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
um. You hear it hiss. What this one's name was in life matters not. What matters is that she became she who walks behind at the mistress's behest.
All right. Well, all that tells us is that she works for fucking Demorial.
Which we knew.
A
Maybe ask
vessel
her-
cares not for her name.
All right.
Ask her what vessel means.
Perhaps we should ask her what orders she was carrying out for her mistress.
I like that idea.
Do you ask?
Yeah.
What
Yes.
orders were you carrying out?
I was to protect the wizard from his folly, to make sure he did not die. The Ward Master must not fall.
Too late.
Why must the Ward Master not fall?
The Ward Master must not fall, for the Ward Master is needed.
Damn it, these fucking.
They could be cryptic.
No.
Yes.
That's
I mean, we can be more
reads
poignant
already.
with it, but they can also lie.
Yes.
Is
Just
Valentine the one asking the questions so that she
Yes.
doesn't know that we're the? Okay,
yeah, it has to go through her. Everybody else, we just see a
That's-
skull.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we have 3. That's 3. We have 2 more.
Any other ways to divide it off?
Ooh, that's a good one.
There is but one path, carved by the amulet.
Oh, that's interesting.
We should probably ask if there are any agents outside of Ionoth still working.
I'm sure there are. I can't believe there wouldn't be.
Well, anyone major, perhaps? I don't know. Like,
What
That's a good
agents
one,
do
yeah.
you know of?
That's-
What were you saying, Charles?
The idea of the fact is if it's one path, but then maybe the fact is that if we try the amulet at different points along the wall, it may not work.
yeah, I'm assuming the amulet walks us through, guides us through a specific path after she said that, or once she tells us that.
Do we want to be more poignant about? Let's say, so make the 5th question be like, where do we use the amulet? Because we also still have 5 questions.
Well,
left overall.
I don't think
I think
asking
that's-
that's going to give us any straight answer.
Right, you're probably right.
And I don't think necessarily
We
she's
know
gonna
that the
know.
amulet carves a path. That's information that she could be giving us without realizing that she doesn't know Sorrel has fallen. So I think that's good
Right.
enough for the professor to put kind of together that the amulet will probably get us in somehow. And that we should, well, he could. He
I like
could
the
probably
agents.
Hey, sweetie, I have a question.
Yeah.
Does Zone of Truth affect these kind of spirits?
Oh Lord. Hi, Merle.
Let's... Okay, Merle.
You know, it's not like I didn't ask that question last week. So,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know the answer.
I don't. I feel like that's a little game breaky. Let me look at Zone of Truth.
I think they can choose to.
Okay. Here's the thing. It says creature,
Yeah, it's not a
which
Yeah.
denotes alive.
Yep.
Speaking
Yeah,
of that,
true.
it says corpse,
Yep.
which
Yeah.
denotes not living. So,
Well,
I
it's not even a corpse. It's just like a wandering.
It's like the
spirit or whatever.
soul, though.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's too game breaky.
you guys got one question? One.
I like the agent's question. I don't know any others
Yeah.
that I could think of
what
Yeah.
other agents do you know of?
on this side of the wards
Yeah.
in Talknell or in Koskana.
Of agents that I know, there are none.
Can I roll insight? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Wait,
You can roll insight if you want.
I mean, setting a
Yeah.
course.
But if you have
26,
you have
20
agents, you don't tell the other agents where the other agents are. If they get picked off and questioned, they could give away the other person's location.
Jesus, Corin.
plus 11, and I rolled a 17.
You get the feeling she's being truthful, but
And that
it's
she doesn't know, but
you get the feeling she's either saying one of two things. She doesn't personally know the agents that are out there, or she doesn't know of the agents that are out there.
with the question. God damn it.
And with the last question that's spoken, there is a sigh as the mouth clacks shut and the skull falls still.
you can just throw that head out if you want, Valentine. We don't need it anymore.
I think I might put a levitate spell on it and let the monsters in the labyrinth have a new pool toy.
I like that idea.
She kind of moves it aside and then holds her hands up for Soral's skull.
Is it bad that I actually like the indignity of that?
Oh no, I find it amusing as well. But then again, I do have a morbid sense of humor.
You never.
She puts Soral's skull on the altar and casts Speak with the Dead, and then looks to you all for the first question.
Wow.
You have the Lord Master of the Arcana.
Why were you such a tool? No, that was not the question.
Well, should we ask what they're doing with what they're doing to the children?
Well,
Do we know for a fact that Soral was serving willingly?
Yeah, we do.
I don't think you would know what's happening specifically to the kids.
As much as I would like to focus on the kids, or the children at least, of those in our party, unfortunately, I think that finding out what's going on with Balamon is probably going to help us a little more.
I don't think he'll know about that, honestly. I think, so far what we've noticed as a trend with these demons is that they keep everything on a strict need.
Definitely compartmentalize
Yeah.
their
Yes.
information.
I feel like the only person who'll know about Balamon will be Demoriel. And maybe Adremelech, maybe. But I feel like even Dremelech won't know the full truth.
Well, and Soral was charged with bringing down
The
the
wards.
ward.
Exactly. So I think we should be asking about that. Something that he actually might know the
Oh,
that
that's a
no
good
one else
point.
would.
What I worry about is wards upon wards. Wards ringing Vionoth, and then wards on wherever Balamon is actually
His master of the
encased,
wards knows.
entombed?
Well, we will.
I don't know.
I really want to ask about the around Vianoff and around.
I think we know pretty.
Balamon.
Well, we know that the pillars are the wards for Vianor.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ryle makes a good point though about
No, we should
the
inquire
wards
the
around
wards around
Balamon itself.
Balamon.
I don't want to get in there and then realize, oh shit, we had no idea that this was even here.
I just feel like that's so far above his pay grade.
8+ her.
He would have been maintaining the wards before Demorial ever came up, so he has to know.
Well, he would know the wards on the outside doesn't mean he doesn't know the wards on the inside. But now that he's had access to them, you know, like, or how did he? In other words, like, how they plan to free Balamon?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was part of it.
That's
Well, we have 5. I think that's probably we could use 2 questions on that.
yeah. Okay. Let's ask. Those
All right.
2, I guess.
What's your first question?
What did we decide? Like, how we gotta make sure.
How did you plan to free Balamon?
What was your role in freeing Balamon?
What was the overall plan?
Yeah. How
was
are you
your-
going to free Balamon?
Okay.
Right. We just gotta be really direct and specific. Hopeful and
Yeah.
hope that.
Okay. So you're asking him what was the plan to free Balamon?
No, just straight up. How are you going to free Balamon?
I think we're working on a false supposition there.
What do you mean?
Let's leave off the U and say, how was Demorial planning?
Yeah. I meant the royal you, but no, I know. Yeah, no, that makes more sense.
The royal.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that makes sense. I'm cool with that. How is Demorial going to free Balamon?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
God damn it, Snicket.
You're
Damn
lying.
it.
Bullshit.
That's just bullshit right there.
Well, we have to have one probing question to figure out, like, if they compartmentalize that information.
Right.
So you ask, what was Demorial's plan to free Balamon?
So we just ask, how will Balamon be set free?
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. That's yes.
Yeah.
That's us weasel room.
Yeah.
At this point, you hear Soral's voice come from
Come from.
the skull. Ah. The wards are complex, intricate, old. The wards are beyond me. I know not of their plan to free Balamon. I only knew that it was out of my knowledge.
Thought you were gonna say pay grade.
I almost did. I had to literally stop myself.
Okay, cool. We know that much at least. So,
Where to go?
Did they know the resting place of Balamon?
I like that one too. What do you guys think?
What was it?
Do you know or where's the resting place of Balamon?
That's good. I like that.
Had they found him yet?
I mean, he said the wards were complex. Maybe he's seen them.
Is that what you ask?
Should we ask him to describe the wards?
No, I don't think that's gonna get us anywhere.
No, I think asking where Balamon rests is a good.
I think that might be better.
Yeah.
So you ask where Balamon rests, and he responds. They know where he sleeps, where he waits patiently, where he is sealed.
Well, we probably should have had him describe it on a map or something.
Well, did he say that he didn't know where it was, Nick?
He said he said they do know
Oh.
where he sleeps, where he slumbers,
That sounds like he doesn't.
where he waits patiently.
Yeah.
All right.
Should we ask about the forces inside Vine?
How many
I
more
think that
questions do
should
we
be-
have?
We have 3 more.
We have 3 more.
Um,
Numbers, like how many
No,
fortresses do you have? How many demons are...
that's a good question to ask. For sure.
Okay, so we should definitely ask if there's an army inside Vianoth.
and what it comprises of. See if we can
What
weasel
is,
that.
what is the composition of the army inside Vianoth?
Yeah, because we definitely know there's an army in Vianoth.
We should get a second crack at
Show
if
us
there's-
on the map where all their
if
fortresses
there's
and armies are.
forces if there's forces outside of here.
Point with your skull.
I'm
on
just
Yeah, I was
saying.
gonna say, I'm not sure how he would do that.
We could try.
I'll-
we
I'll
could,
move my finger on the map, and you tell me when to stop.
Hot or cold?
okay. What is the composition of the army inside Vianoth?
Yeah.
We should ask him to list the agents still operating outside of Vianoth.
And then the last question can be about how he was going to bring down the wards. So if they already have a plan in place, we need to know how to stop it. Or at the very least, not let it fully go down. So we still have 3. So I like what does the army inside Vianoth consist of? Like, what are the forces in your army?
Is there any more generals that you know of? We're running on the false assumption that we know every one of them. We may not.
I felt like
You got that info from Liara, and I'm pretty sure that was it.
Yeah, I think we.
Well,
I think we would know that. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I mean, like, I think that's a good because I definitely don't want to be blindsided by a second or a third general. Ah, fuck, this is hard.
Mhm.
So we still have 3 questions. So, army consists of general, and then the question about the plans for the wards for the
Okay, so
megaliths.
Yes, but we need to figure out that last question wording wise a little better.
Yeah, I think we should ask that one first too, because I think that one's really important. So that if we
Okay.
fuck it up and don't get a good answer, we can ask a second question. Be more.
What is it
Well,
specifically that we want to know?
How did he plan to take down the wards
Well, what about
around Vianoth?
what about this? Without him, can the wards still come down?
But that could be just a one.
I like that.
answer. But that might be enough then? If he says yes, then we can just try to figure out how they can come down without him.
Or apart from him, was there a contingency to take down the wards?
Mm.
I don't know.
What are you guys gonna ask?
The Jeopardy music.
Could we just ask, instead of saying how were you going to or how were you, just say how are the wards going to fall? Because like I feel like we can be pretty like
Yeah, let's try that one. Let's try it that way.
make the assumption that they've already that the shit's happening.
Yeah, how will the wards fall?
Okay. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, but specifically, like, use whatever the name is for the megaliths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it
You
now.
you do. You ask and you hear. Without me, they will fall within a century's time. Every 20 years, I go and add fresh magic to the wards that are needed. You all have ensured they will fall regardless, and Vionoth is.
Shit.
However, they did need more magical energy than has ever been known to be amassed to break just one megalith.
Well, we
One
stopped that.
falls, the rest fall with it. Without that, they have no immediate way of sundering the wards. But there is always time.
Yes.
Well, we stop that from happening when we cleanse the hollow.
Yes.
Well, let's have another way to do it.
Which, maybe that's why they're collecting children. Maybe it's related somehow.
The children. They're
Could
not
it also
pulling
be-
magic from the children. They're warping them. I thought.
They could also be planning on doing some kind of portal into Shadowfell. Goodness.
Okay.
Let's not forget that thing
Really?
they built.
I think the next one we should ask is list the generals and agents still operating in Cascana.
Don't give them a chance to say no or an out. I like it.
So just Cascana as a
Well,
whole, which
oh,
would
yeah.
include Vionoth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, should I have added like locations? No. Was that too like?
No, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
I mean, if that gives us a bunch of the stuff that's in Vionoth, though, that doesn't really help us.
Well, we're going
It
there.
lets
so
us
it'll
know
help us
what
in
we're
the
going to be
future.
up against.
Yeah.
We could always try and scry on the names.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. We have to know. some
Yeah,
stuff.
maybe.
This is gonna be a long list.
Of the
Yeah.
agents still alive, of the agents still serving,
Yes.
there is the Lord Valara and his legion of undead.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, we knew about that.
We did?
Well, I don't
We knew
think
we
we
had
knew
a
about the
legion?
Legion part.
Well, not the Legion part. We knew he was still alive.
Yes.
Wait.
There is the General Adramelech,
Mm-hmm.
leader of the forces.
Okay.
There is Balbereth, right hand to Demoria.
We don't know that name.
You would know.
And then there is the Hag.
Nice question, Charles. Also, I don't like that name. It's super spooky.
What question did Charles just say?
It was no. His question was the generals, like the
Oh,
generals
yeah,
and
yeah.
the agents thing.
Okay.
Balbereth. Ugh.
That was definitely one we did not know.
We might assume that Valmara, the Lord, is out here.
Oh, Valara.
Yeah. Well, the next question. So I'm glad we asked this one first, because then the focusing question on this one is, what forces await us? What forces await beyond the barrier into Vionoth, or whatever? You know what I mean?
Okay, so like actually, that's a good question, but also we can also ask more about Balbereth. We could also ask about where Valara's undead army is, because if they're on the other side, that's then.
Well, okay, so here's how the professor would think this. Getting a description of the forces that await inside Vianoth could eliminate that his Legion of Undead is not inside there, where then it is somewhere out here, which would be a lot easier to spot
Okay, yeah.
a Legion of Undead through rumors and like we have scouts. We could cover that.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
know what's inside, then we know what's outside, and we can deal with the outside. That's,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely,
Am
yes.
I right in assuming? Is that good thinking?
No, I think that is smart.
Yeah.
Anybody else have opinions?
Do we have 2 questions, or is this our last
This is
one?
our
This
last
will be our
one.
last question.
Last one.
So, what if we do, of those agents... No, wait, no, because that's...
I think asking what the forces are inside
Inside
Vianoth,
the wards, yeah.
it tells us, like you said, by elimination, what's outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking if we add on to of those forces you listed, describe what awaits... What... No, wait, okay. Yeah, this is good. Let's go with that. Describe, like...
The simpler the better, I think, on this
Yep,
one,
yep,
because
yep, yep, yep.
yeah.
Just turn that focusing lens onto...
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ask of what force, of the forces that are amassing behind the wards of Vianoth. Yes.
Yes.
Describe
Okay.
describe the forces
Describe.
in Vianoth.
So he answers, the legions of undead, the demons under Adramelech's command,
Oof.
the shadows that answer to Balbera, and then the Balai, those forgotten by all. Thirst for revenge, they join.
Can you write that last one, Snicket?
Oh, I think we just got a thing that we didn't know about.
We did.
Yep. Yep.
The Balai.
Oh no!
That's probably like some sort of
Or
followers
is
of Baal Amon.
A lie. You're totally freaking right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yay,
God, I'm
evil
like-
cults.
I'm shitting
Yay,
my
cult
pants right now,
stuff.
you guys.
Fuck. Well, he is trying to become a god.
I know
so-
how you name things.
Fuck.
Oh my
At
God,
this-
that's so smart, Dusty.
At this point, the skull sighs and falls silent, and you watch as Belle picks up the skull and looks at you and is like, "Pool toy, or did you want to keep this one?"
Can I see it?
Kind of hands it over to you, Corin.
Oh, I look at everyone. Do we need this?
Smash it.
No, don't. I don't know why, but I want it. Can I have it?
Trophy.
I was gonna punt it across the room, but you can have it.
I appreciate the sentiment.
There is something interesting I do want to point out about that particular spell.
Mm.
Yes?
The spell fails if the corpse was the target of the spell within 10 days. If
I don't
we
think-
have time, we might be able to question this thing more.
I don't know. Maybe if we keep it with us.
I think we've got... I have
But we
plans.
only were able to do it through Valentine. I don't think we can stay here for much longer.
Oh, I can actually cast that spell.
But I don't think he won't answer to us.
Yeah, because
Well,
he sees us.
At the very
Maybe.
least, he'll just lie for every single question, and we won't get it.
True.
Valentine.
Yes.
The Baal Alive. The Baal Alive. I can't say that word right now.
But a lie.
Baal Alive.
That lie.
Do you know them?
She starts to pace, and she knits her skeletal fingers. And it's almost this horrible, like, almost clacking, clicking noise of bone. She goes, "There were rumors, naturally, that I found ancient depiction. I know of a whisper that there used to be an elvish kingdom where Vianoth once stood.
My God.
That it was rumored lost or legend, but if the Belai are something, I fear that what might happen to a race of people sealed for 2,000 years with
Yes.
Balamon's influence.
Sorry, out of character for 1 second. This is fucking epic. Fucking epic. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. God damn it. Motherfucking shit. This is the best thing ever. God damn it. Okay, as I was saying. Yes. Well, that is a. So we must assume that this ancient race of elves is some sort of twisted demon force. Not demon
Right,
force,
maybe
but
not even elvish anymore.
some sort of twisted force that probably makes up the large portion of their army. The Balberith and the Shadows.
That I've not heard of before. Though that is a demon as far as I can tell.
The naming conventions.
Is there a place where we could learn about these demons? There is no information, and it's driving me
The only
mad.
place that I could think of is...
There's
the
nothing on Vianoth as far as I know.
Unless we go back to the library.
Then we destroy the library.
I
Who
might have
can remember?
I might have something in the vault.
I destroyed the key. I destroyed one of the... Or we set free one of the whatchamacallits.
You set Liara free. She's
The
gone.
library's gone.
The computer system.
She was how we interacted with the library.
Because you
We'll
discovered
never-
she was a bound spirit.
Yeah.
At this point goes,
Sensing a theme.
I have a vault where I keep some of the more delicate pieces. If you want, I can keep it. I could go down and research.
That would be a
If-
great help to us.
If you wouldn't have to stay here. I know you have no time.
What
She wished to,
What else do you have for us?
and she grins and she goes, "Come with." And she takes you to this room, off of the mirror room, and it is not nearly as large, but it is fairly vast, and the floor, the walls, the ceiling, all intricate, swirling patterns of magic sigils and runes and circles and lines. And in the very center, there is this large obsidian table. And she looks at you all and she waves to the table and she goes, "If you all could please put your artifacts there. There is one thing I can do for you."
All right.
Oh, is this an upgrade table?
I
It's a
noticed
workbench.
something when you all arrived. It mostly has to do with something I noticed with Arendir's bow. It has changed since you last brought it before me. Different.
Oh, that was the only one we had last time we were here. We found more.
Right.
Yes, you unlocked it or something, or began the process last time we were here.
I did. And I thought at that time that somehow, through time, it would unlock the rest, but it seems the items have a mind of... You see, as you've carried them, as you've wielded them, your will, your thoughts, your hopes, your dreams have honed them. They no longer belong to those who came before. These are now yours. Who you are has forged them into what they are now. These belong to you all. And when it comes time to set these down, because I know without a shadow of a doubt that you will defeat this evil, that if a future adventurer picks these up, these will not belong to those who came before. They will belong to the Dawn's Graces. And their powers reflect you.
I can't imagine someone picking up this years from now.
Put my bow on the table.
As you guys put your artifacts on the table, the armor, the mace, the shield, the fists, the cloak, the bow, she starts to move her hands as if she is directing an orchestra, and you watch as light blue magic starts to glow from the carvings on the walls and the ceilings and the floor, softly at first before picking up and slowly starting to flow down to the central point. And you watch as this light sort of gathers, coalesces around the table and reaches up. And you watch as it settles over your weapons and sort of glows bright blue and then pure white, radiant light. And you watch as it sort of grows brighter and brighter until you almost have to shield your hand from it. And then slowly it fades. And you watch as Bellantine sort of slowly just floats to the floor where she sits on her knees. That was much more than I thought it would be.
Right. Don't weaken yourself.
This is worth it.
Wow.
If you say so,
But-
my dear.
This will give you an edge over Balamon's forces. Wield them well, Dawn's graces. And as you all pick up your artifacts, they feel different to you. They sing in your grasp, and it feels right, as if these were forged for you and you alone. And ladies and gentlemen, I have retooled and they are awakened, ladies and gentlemen. And not only that, they have been renamed to fit you all.
Yes, you did.
So, do you mind if I show each and
Yes.
Yeah,
Do you want me-
to?
Do you
Show
want me
it.
to
Show us. Describe it. Just
Yes.
make it
Okay,
as fucking
so-
epic as possible.
So, do you want me to show so
Give me a
everybody
stroke.
can see?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me
One
a
at a
stroke.
I want
Are
to see
you-
everybody's.
Stroke
Okay.
me out.
I want.
Yes,
I
we want
seriously.
to go to the custodian.
Mike and Charles, are you okay with this?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay. So first up, Aaron, here you pick up your bow, and it is now called. Oh, why is it not showing? I should show to Mike though.
I see it. Yeah.
It is called Arboria's Favor.
Oh,
Calling upon them, it has two abilities. Arboreal Defense. Calling upon the might of the arboreal forest, you summon vines around a foot radius, making it difficult terrain for enemies only. Once per short rest, as a reaction, you can command the vines to rise up when you are attacked, having the damage you would have taken. Once the vines are used to soak damage, they disappear, and this ability cannot be used again until a short rest. And Command of the Elements has now been upgraded to 6d8 total damage.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah.
Professor, you pick up your cloak, and there's the fierceness of the beast trapped inside. But it is different now. They're your beasts to command. It is now the cloak of the Archmage. Fear no evil. The souls of the beasts inside the cloak zealously protect their user. User has resistance to spell damage, advantage on saving throws versus spells. You also gain a bonus to your initiative equal to your intelligence modifier.
Oh shit!
Mastery of magic. Your knowledge of the arcane is beyond measure. Knowing how to manipulate and cast magic in such a way has enabled you to push beyond normal boundaries. Once per short rest, you can cast another spell at any level as part of your action.
Oh shit!
Oh.
+3 to AC.
wow.
Fuck yeah!
Connor, you pick up the fists, the hands of the weapons, and they are now known as the Fist of Tauren's Fury. Living weapon. The power of the gauntlets infuses your strikes. All weapon die are now considered the next die up. Those hit with your weapon while wearing the gauntlets also have disadvantage with strength checks and saves until the start of your next turn. You can also use a bonus action to knock prone a large or smaller creature when you hit them with a melee weapon attack. They cannot save against this.
Oh my god.
Erdbracken. As an action, you smash your fist to the ground, you cause a small earthquake in a 20-foot line. Creatures caught in this line make a DC 17 dex save, or take 5d12 force damage, and are knocked prone. Successfully take half damage and not knocked prone. As a bonus action, you can dash to the nearest prone enemy. You can use this ability once per... It is Earth Shatter. That's literally what it means. And Rael, you pick up your leathers. They are no longer the leathers of the Purple Prince. They are the leathers of the Dawnfire.
Are they a different color?
It is a different color. It is the color of a brilliant dawn. Master of Inspiration. Any Bardic Inspiration is automatically considered max damage. You gain an additional Bardic Inspiration die, and you can spend as many Bardic Inspiration die as you choose.
That puts me to 5.
Phoenix Soul. Your connection with the primal power of light and fire has touched your soul with the power of the phoenix. Once per day, as a bonus action, you can call about that power to manifest physically. You become wreathed in flame, your eyes glow like burning embers. For 1 minute, any creature that hits you with a melee attack takes fire damage equal to your charisma modifier. You're immune to fire damage, and if you're reduced to 0 while using Phoenix Soul, you instead drop to 1. Each creature in 10 feet of you takes fire damage equal to your level plus charisma modifier.
I've just become Jean Grey.
Corin.
Oh my god, nice.
You pick up the hammer. No longer known as the Mace of 1,000 Sacrifices, it is known as the Might of Pelor. Smite the wicked, save the just. Once per short rest, you can choose an enemy within 30 feet and roll a ranged spell attack. Upon a hit, the enemy takes 66 force damage. You can then heal an ally within 30 feet of you for the amount of damage that was dealt. Glory of the dawn everlasting. Darkness fears the light, and the light of Pelor protects you. You get a +2 to your AC, and when you cast any spell that does radiant or fire damage, you add your wisdom modifier to the damage dealt.
Oh my god.
It is still a +2 mace and does 2d6 radiant damage on top. Tamar, you pick up your shield, and no longer is there a sunburst on the front. You notice that it has become bright platinum with a dragon's head, and it has now become the shield of platinum light. Bahamut's Judgment. It is a +2 shield, and it is animated.
Oh, sweet!
Oh, nice!
Oh, dude.
Once
so I
for
can use
long
that one
rest,
for the two-handed.
you can use. Once for long rest, the user can call upon the divine breath of the radiant energy, the breath of Bahamut. You release a 30-foot cone of radiant energy. Targets must make a dex save versus your paladin spell save DC. A failed save, they take 10d10 radiant damage
Holy shit!
and are blinded until the end of their next turn.
Oh my god.
That doesn't require it to be a demon or a.
Nope.
Ah.
Aegis of Fate. The platinum light of Bahamut shines forth, and all those who stand before you as an enemy falls in this holy aura of 5 feet. They take 2d6 radiant damage while they are in your aura of faith.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
Holy shit. That's fucking crazy.
I hope you guys like.
Snicket, that's oh
That's
my god.
freaking awesome.
By the way, Morgan, I have plans for you.
Oh boy.
At this point, you watch as Bellantine rises from where she is sitting on the ground. She goes, "That is my gift to you. Weapons to defeat Balamon. But there is more. For too long, I have stayed locked away in fear. You all have the courage I have sorely lacked, and I have let it shackle me to inaction. No longer do we have the luxury of that. Too long have I hidden myself away, but no more. As you break against the waves of demonic hellspawn, I shall stand as a bastion against that tide. I will use all the power I possess to see you all succeed and protect this world that I have watched through the ages. Come what may, I will do what I must to see this to the end. I am no light in the dark, as you all are, but I am everything the dark fears. The abomination will no longer be a whisper in the night to make children afraid. I am Archmage Valentine Novalis, Mistress of the Obsidian Edge, and I will not falter, I will not fail. So go forth, Dawn's graces, and be the end of this fast approaching night. Those of us whom you have touched with your light, saved with your grace, shall stand behind you every step of the way. Become the heralds of this new, brighter age. Bring forth this new dawn, everlasting in all of its glory. And that is where we're leaving off for the night. And welcome to the final arc of the Fallen Turns.
Oh shit!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I hope you guys liked it.
Holy fuck! My neighbor's probably just wondering what the hell's happening in my house.
I love you guys so
Was it
much,
happy sounds at least.
and I hope you guys. Are,
That music was timed so.
I know it was
perfect.
so good.
Yes.
Like I wanted to. I'm like I literally I stroked out like in there the minute I heard the music and the ending of Valentine's speech. But I'm like, okay, don't send it yet because let her finish the speech. I don't want to break this thing. But oh my god, I was freaking out over here. The
I
music
have
was
been-
ramping up just as you were finishing. It was